continue. Cool. Yeah, I've had lots of emails from people being like, I would love to come, but I can't be there. Please, can I watch it back? So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just do you want me to wait until 7, or do you want me to just let people in?
I don't mind if you let people in. We can have a little chat and then get going.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here they go.
Hello.
We just thought we'd start letting people in so you're not all stuck in the waiting room abyss. Also, this is recording not for any kind of embarrassment purposes. It's for the people that can't make it. So don't worry about where it's going to go. It's just to the students that have got a clash and can't make it today.
There we go. And Kara, you just let me know when you want me to get started.
Cool. Usually we just wait like a minute or so past, just in case people are struggling to get on.
Totally.
But yeah, maybe if we start at like 2 minutes past 7. Not that I'm being pedantic, but.
And so this is all instruments. All the instruments. Cool. I apologize in advance if I like break into a coughing fit, just because yesterday was the US election. I was like groaning and screaming every 15 seconds. So I've like completely gone hoarse. Just like making that noise over and over again. So I don't have COVID.
I think that's the new like catchphrase, isn't it? It's like, I've not got COVID. It's just a cough. I've not got COVID.
I've just been screaming at my country.
Fun fact, like the first case of coronavirus in the UK was like from the co-op where I used to live. Well, I didn't live in the co-op, obviously. Like I lived right next to a co-op, and my neighbor called me one day and said that there was some weird thing that she was having to like sit in her house. And I was like, oh, classic Lynn being dramatic, whatever. And yeah, and then it turns out that was like months before anyone really had heard about it. And it turns out it was because she was in there the day which the first guy in the UK like had got it. So fun fact.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a few more people still filtering in, but I feel like if you want to get started, that quick.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, and like nothing will be so like regimented or complicated that, you know. Okay, so we'll get started. Hi everyone, I am Elena Urioste, and I actually came to the Royal Northern a couple of years ago to do some sessions like this. So if I have met any of you already, hi. If I haven't, hi. I am a violinist and also a yoga teacher. And in 2017, along with another violinist friend named Melissa White, we started this program called Intermission, which was basically yoga for musicians, but more specifically a way for musicians to start thinking about their bodies, develop a little bit more awareness, prevent and heal injuries. And we just basically wanted to move music making into like a slightly more comfortable, more holistic, happier direction, hopefully. So I thought for this session, we've got about 45 minutes. We won't get into anything too like twisty or complex. I would just give you a series of motions that I have found really helpful, either before a performance, before a practice session, during a practice break. I love taking breaks. Yeah, just some like little tips for you to feel good, and hopefully influence your playing in a happy way. So I have a yoga mat, but you don't need one. All you really need is just some space to move around. And we'll get started. So if anyone is working with any injuries or sensitivities, please just trust your body. If anything I say doesn't feel quite right, back off. You can always watch. This is being recorded. You're welcome. I mean, I don't mind if you turn off your camera if you'd rather have privacy. But like I said, this is going to be pretty basic stuff. So to start off, I thought we would begin in a standing position. So just find a little bit of space and position your device so that you can see me without having to turn your head too much, or just listen to my words. So even though most of us play our instruments, using the upper half of our body, I think it's really important to connect the whole body. And that, of course, starts with the foundation, which is our feet. So we're going to begin by warming up each of our sets of joints from the bottom, the ankles, all the way up to the neck. So take a comfy stance. You can put your hands on your hips just to maintain a little bit of balance. Shift your weight over to one foot, doesn't matter which. We're going to start by circling out the opposite ankle. So I'm in a smaller space than usual. I don't know if you can see my feet, but you can either have your toes down and make big circles with your heel, or you can pick it up, circle it out in the air if you want to test your balance. So just some real juicy circles, warming up the ankles, because believe it or not, what you do with your feet when you play affects everything else on top of it. Affects everything else on top of your feet. All right, so a few more in that first direction, and then just switch the direction of your circles, same foot. You can keep your toes down if you like cracking them, or again, lift them off. All right, couple more. And then simply switch sides. So shift your weight to the opposite foot, circle out the other one. So I love thinking about the feet. They support us all day long, except when we're sitting. But even then, you could still think about your feet as really rooting you. It's our connection to the ground. A couple more circles, and then change directions. So it's really important to think about the toes, the ankles, and make sure our feet are nice and comfy. Few more. And then place both feet down, bring the big toes to touch, put a big bend in your knees, hands on the knees, and start circling them out. So these can be really narrow at first. If you've got any knee sensitivities, if you're a runner, or if you do a lot of cycling, take it super easy. Always go at your pace. Only you can know what it feels like to be in your body. And this goes for when you're doing a yoga practice and when you're playing. So always, always trust your own body. And then switch directions of your circles. You can go faster or slower, whatever feels good. And then wind your way back to center. Just bend and straighten your knees a couple times. See how that feels. And then we'll move up to the hips. So widen the feet once again. Hands on the hips. We're going to start making big circles with them, like you're hula hooping in slow motion. Or you can imagine like you're spooning something really delicious out of a jar, and you want to get every last bit. You can involve your upper body as much or as little as you'd like. Few more circles. Wind your way to center and switch directions. So this I find is a really nice way to wake up the hips, kind of get the whole body moving. And it's all very instinctive, so there aren't really any rules. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just whatever feels yummy. And wind your way back up to center. Now we'll do the upper body, so let's start with the wrists. Make 2 light fists and circle them out. So if there was like one movement that I would recommend most to everyone, it would be this one. You can basically catch me rolling out my wrists whenever I have a rest in my playing, whether I'm on stage or in a rehearsal, in the practice room. Just so good for the wrists, for the forearms. And switch direction. If you hear them talking to you, any little pops, that's really normal. It's just air getting released, so it's actually quite a good thing. However, if it hurts, always take it easy. All right, you can shake that out. Then press your hands in opposite directions like you're standing in a doorway, pushing it away. And then start circling out your arms. So here we're lubricating the shoulders, which I find super helpful if I'm playing a piece with like a lot of broad bow strokes. I don't know what the wind or brass equivalent would be. It's sort of like big swimming motions. Nice and juicy in the shoulders. And you can go smaller if you like, faster, slower. And switch directions whenever it feels intuitive. This might start to build a little heat in your arms. That's always good. Couple more. And while we're on our shoulders, let's swing the arms out, then tap opposite shoulders, swing them back out, tap. And alternate which elbow goes on top. Just starting to open up the chest and the upper back, bringing a bit of side to side, front and back mobility to the shoulder girdle. And here you can always pause, give yourself an extra tight hug, wiggle around. That feels good. Just make sure you do both sides. Excuse me. Couple more moments here. And then gradually let the arms fall. And lastly, we'll do the neck. So let's just begin by dropping the chin to the chest and really allow the back of the neck to feel nice and heavy. Your head weighs a lot. It's like 12 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilos. Almost a stone. It's really heavy. It's like a bowling ball. So just let it relax. And you can either stay here or you can draw a line with your chin across your collarbones over to one shoulder. Maybe even look behind you. And drag the chin over to the other shoulder. Look behind. Maybe a few more of those if that feels good. Always being mindful with the neck and always lengthening before you move it. Good. And then bring the head back to center. Already start to notice any changes in the body. That's part of this whole thing. Just always taking a moment to check in with how you feel. That can solve so many problems just by being mindful like that. All right, so now that we've warmed up the joints, I'm going to guide you through it's not really yoga, but it's a really helpful exercise for warming up the body. So we've all been in like really cold, uncomfortable practice rooms or, winter's coming. So we need to make sure the body is warmed up to prevent injury. So take your feet nice and wide again. Put a healthy bend in your knees. Make 2 light fists. And we're going to start by tapping out either side of the hips, the bum, basically. Tap, 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 tap. As hard or as soft as feels good. And then with a bend in your knees, start tapping down the outer edges of the legs all the way down to the ankles. So bend your knees as much as you need. When you reach your feet, open up your palms and slap up the insides of your legs. And we'll do that 2 more times. So make fists, tap down the outer edges of the legs. You can pause if somewhere feels interesting. Open up the palms, slap up the insides. And one more time. Slap, 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 slap. When you've done 3 trips, you can take a couple circles around your midsection. Wake up your organs. And then we'll do the arms. So extend your right hand, make a little cup with the hand, and take it over to the left side of your neck, your shoulders, your upper back, and tap that out. Extend the left arm. Then we're going to tap down the outside of the left arm. Tap, 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 tap. All the way to the back of the hand. Flip it over and tap up the inside. And then 2 more times. We like doing things in 3s. Tap down the outside. Up the inside. One more. When you've done 3 rounds, switch sides. Left hand comes over to right shoulder, neck. Tap it out. And when you're ready, extend the right arm 3 times, down the outside, up the inside. I've lost count. But whenever you're finished, take your time, no rush. Let's meet at the chest, fingertips to the chest, and sort of like a more graceful Tarzan motion. So we're waking up the air inside the lungs. If you want to make a sound, you can. Like that. It can feel good to tap out the area under the collarbones, even up into the armpits. It's an area that can get stuck, especially with our arms in front of us a lot. And then make little raindrops with your fingertips. Take them up your neck. Tap, 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 tap. Up onto the jaw. Make sure that's nice and loose. Tap up the cheeks, sides of the nose. Tap your temples, bridge of the eyebrows, forehead, and up onto the top of the head. Tap, 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 tap. Few more minutes, moments. Tap, tap, tap. And then close your eyes, bring your hands down by your sides, and just notice any changes in the body. Notice whether you feel warmer than when we began. If you feel a buzz running through your body, like your blood is humming. Just notice what's present for you now. There's no right or wrong answer, no need to judge, just observe. And as you tune in, turn your attention inward, also start to notice your breath. How does it feel after these few minutes of movement? Does it feel easy or challenging? Fast or slow? Warm or cool? Start to notice any qualities of your breathing exactly as you are in this moment. And then all together, let's deepen our breath using a 3-part exercise. So you're welcome to keep your eyes closed, or if you'd like to flutter them open to a half gaze, you can watch me or just follow my words, whatever is comfortable for you. So keeping your feet nice and rooted, bring your hands to rest on your belly, kind of like framing your belly button, and really let your belly hang out. Let it relax, let it puff, no one's watching. All right, so after your next natural exhale, take a big breath in and feel your belly expand outwards into your palms. Really fill it up. And exhale, feel the belly contract, belly button pulls back towards the spine. It might feel opposite of what we're used to. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, fill the belly, puff it out. Think of filling up the lower back. And exhale, draw the belly in, empty it out. One more time. Inhale, breathing into the belly. Feel the lungs swell down like big balloons. And exhale to pull the belly in, hollow it out like a vacuum. Good. Now bring the hands to rest on the outer edges of the ribs, kind of like you're wearing a corset. And after your next natural exhale, take a big breath in and feel the ribs fan out to either side. So now we're focusing on a lateral motion. And exhale, bones of the ribs pull in towards the center line of your body. Twice more. Inhale, feel the rib cage fan out like you're pulling open an accordion. And exhale, ribs pull in like you're cinching your waist in with a belt. One more time. Inhale, ribs fan out like big wings. And exhale, ribs pull in till you're empty. Good. Finally, let's place the hands on the chest. They can be over your heart. And imagine you have a second pair of hands, same place on your upper back. And take a big breath in, filling the space between those four hands. Exhale, empty the chest. Feel it lightly fall, maybe more subtle than the other two places. Inhale, fill the space around your heart. Fill your chest all the way up to the top. And exhale, empty the chest out. One more time. Inhale, fill up the chest, fill the upper back, fill the heart. Exhale, chest gradually empties. Now we'll connect all three places. So you can place your hands anywhere you like. After your next exhale, inhale, starting with the belly, puff it out, fill up the ribs, fill the chest. And exhale through the chest, feel the ribs pull in and belly contract. Inhale, filling the belly, ribs fan out, fill up the chest. And exhale through the chest, through the ribs, through the belly. One more together. Inhale, puff out the belly, fan out the ribs, fill the chest, maybe pause at the top, and exhale through the chest, through the ribs, through the belly. Continue connecting these three places, expanding your breath, and maybe finding a new space within yourself. Carve out someplace new for you to go. And just by breathing, you're creating a space that is uniquely yours. And this is somewhere that you can retreat if you feel nervous or anxious, or if you just need a little time to yourself. Use your breath to make this space, and then trust that it will be there for you during a performance, before an audition, whenever you need it. Take a couple more breaths just to seal this idea into the body. And whenever you feel satisfied, you can slowly start to blink the eyes open, gradually letting the light back in. Nice. All right, we're going to do a little work with alignment, which is kind of a fancy way of saying we're going to stand really well, which sounds super boring, I know, but it will really come in handy when you think about bringing your instrument to you. Okay, so glance down at your feet. We want them narrower than how we were probably just standing. We want them about hip-width distance apart. So you can find those bony parts of your hips, bend your knees, draw a line down. That point should reach your second or middle toe. You can also measure while you're down there, put two fists together, Bring them in between the balls of your big toes. That's about the distance you want. And then while you're down there, see if you can make the outside edges of your feet parallel like a number 11, rather than turned out or turned in. And this just means that your hips are in good anatomical alignment. They're not fanning out or folding in. Okay, now think about having 3 points of balance under each foot. One at the base of the big toe, the ball of the big toe, ball of the pinky toe, and center of the heel. So there's like a tripod under each foot. And now press those points down into the ground. I say a lot, connect through your tripods, press your tripods down. This is really your connection to the earth, to the ground. Just like a tree has roots, these are your roots. So press your tripods down, lift your toes up, and notice how that engages your thighs. You can tap them, make sure they're turned on slightly. And then release your toes down, but keep that engagement. We really want an active lower half when we're playing so that the upper half of the body can be nice and light, okay? So thighs are engaged, tripods root down, drop your tailbone down towards the ground ever so slightly so that your pelvis, this whole thing, is nice and level. So we're not sticking our butt out, we're not slouching forward. It's like we're slotted in between 2 panes of glass. Then the core. It's not just the abs, it's also the sides and back. Turn that whole cylinder on and grow taller through the waist. It's a lot of stuff, I know. Float the ribs on top of your core. Then moving up to the collarbones, we want them to be like they're smiling. So you can roll the shoulders and the back a couple times. And you can bring your palms down by your sides, facing forward to encourage that opening. 2 more things. Grow taller through the crown of your head. So you're pressing up, or it's like someone's pulling you up. And then tuck the chin in. We don't want to jut the chin out, which is what happens a lot with all the texting, the typing, the playing. Tuck the chin in. It might feel a little bit funny, like you've got a double chin, but we want the ears to float over the shoulders. Okay, so this is standing well. It's actually a yoga posture. It's called Tadasana, or mountain pose. I'll run through it one more time, and then we'll start to move a little bit, so attaching movement to breath. So feet are parallel, hip width distance. Press down through the tripods. Engage the thighs, turn them on. Drop the tailbone down. Activate the core, grow taller through the waist. Open up the collarbones so it's like they're smiling. Can roll the shoulders down, palms face forward. Press up through the crown of your head. Tuck the chin in. Maybe close your eyes. Return to that big belly breath. And if you'd like, I invite you to raise your arms to the position that you take when you play. And imagine bringing the instrument to you in this position. If you sit to play, if you're a cellist or pianist or anything, you can imagine bending your knees but keeping the same level of engagement. And see whether you can transfer all of these feelings when we're standing to your seated position. So whatever you play, bring the instrument to you. You can take a couple bows. Play a couple notes, long tones. Just keep returning to this idea that the instrument should accommodate you, not the other way around. Nice. Then bring your hands down. We'll just start to flow a little bit so that we can get a little juicier in the body. All right. So with your feet rooted down, take a big inhale. Reach the fingertips down, out to either side, and all the way up. Connect the palms overhead, and exhale, pull your hands down to the center of your chest. So we're just connecting simple movements to our breath. 2 more times. Inhale, circle the arms. Reach wide, reach tall. Palms come together. Exhale, pull them down the center line of your body. So it's like we're gathering energy in. 1 more time. Inhale, reach out, reach up, palms come together. Exhale, pull your hands down to the center of your chest. Good, we'll move on from here. Inhale, reach your arms up, palms come together, put a big bend in your knees, and start to fold forward at the hips. Coming into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to, so your hands can rest comfortably on the ground. Your knees can be so super bent, it doesn't matter. And then here, just hang. Let the neck be nice and long. You can nod your head yes, shake it no. You can pedal out the knees, do a little cha-cha with your hips. Just enjoy being upside down. How often during the day do we make time for that? You can grab opposite elbows, sway. Anything that feels good and relaxing for you. Good, and then release the arms. Bring your palms to your shins and use them to inhale and lift yourself up so that your back is parallel to the ground. So we call this a flat back. And then exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Maybe you're a little bit closer to the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, palms to shins. Press the shins into your palms. Lift to a flat back. Imagine you could balance a box of pizza on it. And exhale, fold forward, creating a little bit more space. Inhale 1 more time. Lift and lengthen to a flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Place your hands on the ground. Inhale, step your right leg back, a big step, and gently lower your knee down to the ground. I'm just going to shift my camera a little bit. Good. So bring your fingertips in line with your left toes. Untuck the back toes. So we're in a low lunge here. And then take a big breath in. Press into that left knee so that you feel an opening on the front side of the right hip. So we've all been sitting a lot here in Zoom land. So this can be a really nice antidote to all the sitting. It also feels really good if you've been rehearsing a lot. So here you're welcome to sway your hips from side to side. Take any little wiggles. Anything that feels good in your body. Opening up that quad, the hip flexor. Maybe even gaze up. And then when you're ready, start to pull both hips towards the back of your mat, straightening that left leg any amount and folding over the shin. And then once again here, you can sway your hips. This, you might feel a big sensation underneath the left leg, the hamstring. Rock back and forth, anything that feels good. So nice. Bend into that left knee 1 more time so that it stacks right above the heel. And then slide the left knee back to meet the right so that we're in an all fours position. We call this tabletop. Nice. So from here, hips stack above knees, shoulders stack above wrists. Press your hands really firmly into the mat and notice how that lifts you up. So we're not like dumping any weight into the mat. We're really active and light. And then on your next inhale, point your tailbone, your hips up towards the ceiling, drop your belly, gaze up. This is our cow pose. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone underneath you, hollow out the belly, round your back, chin connects with chest. This is our cat. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, arch the back, drop the belly, gaze up into cow. And exhale, round the back like an angry Halloween cat. Press the mat away. 1 more time. Inhale, little back bend in our cow. And exhale, round the back, cat. So nice. Neutralize the spine. Tent the fingertips. Step the right foot in between the hands. Curl the back toes under. Step the left foot up to meet it. And fold forward. Put a bend in your knees and slowly roll up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time. When you reach the top, sweep the arms out and up. Palms connect. Exhale, palms to the center of the chest. Beautiful. We'll do the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward, bending your knees as much as you need. Inhale, hands to shins, reach forward, flat back. Exhale, fold one more time. Plant the hands on the ground, step the left foot back, big step, gently lower the knee, untuck the toes. Bring your fingertips in line with your front foot. And then on your next inhale, press into the right knee, so we're opening up the front side of the left hip. Opening that quad, hip flexor, feel free to wiggle around here. Like I said, you know your body better than anyone. I can't tell you what feels good. I only know that for me. I can just give you some suggestions. It's kind of like that for anything, isn't it? Maybe gaze up, and then when you're ready, draw both hips back, fold over that front shin. Toes can lift off the ground, and then explore any stretches or wiggles that might feel good, opening up the right hamstring. Your knee doesn't have to straighten, it can stay bent. Take another breath here. Good, and then bend into that right knee so that it stacks above the heel. Slide the right knee back. We're back in our tabletop. On your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the eyes, cow. Exhale, round the back into cat. Take 2 more cows and cats on your own, connecting simple movement with your breath. That's really all a yoga practice is. Moving with the breath in whatever way feels instinctive for you. And if we want, we can turn music making into that too. It can all originate with the breath, even for string players. We'll meet in a flat back position. Tent the fingertips to give yourself a little more space. Step the left foot through. Actually, I lied. Come back into an all fours position. Just kick the legs over to one side. Sit back on your bum. And we're on the floor. So nice. So we'll just do a little leg stretching. This is like a real flyby here. Just some stretches to make you feel hopefully a little bit more comfortable after a day of practicing. So hug the right knee into your chest. Tip it out to the side like the pages of a book. And already here you can take a couple wiggles, make that feel good in your legs, opening up the right inner thigh. And then take a big breath in, reach up with your arms, and then with a long spine, start to fold forward. Maybe your hands reach your feet, maybe they don't, maybe they reach your shin or the mat. See if you can have a really long spine first, and then feel a sense of stretching underneath the left leg. When you feel like you're as tall as you can be, then you're welcome to melt forward. Just enjoy this stretch. If you know any variations that you like, you're welcome to take them. Or simply breathe into whatever sensations are arising in your left leg, in your spine, anywhere. Take one more breath here. And then slowly walk your hands back up to a seated position. Point that right knee back up towards the ceiling and just hop your right foot over to the outside of the left leg. So we're going to come into a twist. Make sure your 2 sitting bones are even on the ground. You can wiggle back and forth. And then give your right knee a hug in the crook of your left elbow. Sit up nice and tall. Take your right hand to the base of your spine, kind of like a kickstand. And then inhale to grow taller through the crown of your head. Exhale, start to twist, looking over your right shoulder. So your spine is one unit from the base of the tailbone all the way out through the neck, through the crown of the head. So always start at the bottom and then gradually twist up. Inhale to create more space and exhale to deepen. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, maybe see something new. So nice. Gradually untwist. Extend the right leg. Pause for a moment. Just notice any differences between the two legs. The pause is key. Just checking in with where we are. Then we'll do the other side. Pull the left leg, left knee into the chest. Let it fold out towards the side. And wiggle. Adjust. Make contact with the ground. Flex the right toes. And then inhale, reach up. Long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Again, you can grab the foot, shin, mat, anything. Prioritize a long spine, then a hamstring stretch, and then finally you can relax into it. Take about 3 full deep breaths and just melt into whatever sensations you're experiencing. Start to look forward, walk your hands up, pause in a seated position, point your left knee up to the ceiling, hop the left foot to the outside of the right leg, hug the knee in with the right elbow, and this time left hand comes to the base of the spine to anchor yourself. Then inhale, grow taller, exhale, twist. So in any twist, we're wringing out our spine, getting rid of anything we don't need, physically, emotionally, mentally. So every inhale creates more space. Every exhale allows you to wring yourself out like a wet towel. Take one more full breath. Gradually untwist. Extend both legs out in front of you. You can give your knees a little tap, shake. So nice. And then finally bring the soles of your feet together. They can be very far away from your body or close in, depending on your proportions. And then you're welcome to press your knees down, massage the feet, like peel them open like a book. Take any movements here that feel good. If you'd like to fold forward, just relax. You're welcome to do so. Just giving a little opening to the inner thighs, which is maybe not an area as musicians we give a lot of thought to. Take a couple breaths here before we start wrapping things up. Gradually come out of that butterfly pose. And then just find a comfortable seat. So this can be cross-legged. You can kneel if that feels good. We're just going to take our last few minutes to do a little bit of self-massage, which can feel so good if we've been doing a lot of work in the practice room. Just little techniques to help ourselves unwind. So in whatever comfortable seat you are in, start by giving your thighs a nice comforting rub. Now I sort of automatically do this whenever I sit down. Nice. Then bring your hands together, rub them, generate a little bit of heat, a little electricity. Rub, 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 rub. And then bring the fleshy part of your fingers to the base of your neck and start making some slow, deep circles. Really get in there if that feels good. So again, there's really no wrong way to do this. I'm just giving little things that I like to do, but if other motions feel nice, just explore. And you can bring those circles or strokes up your neck, all the way into your hairline. Just making your neck feel good. You can bring it around the front, or you can bring your finger pads to your jaw. Start making big, broad motions across the line of your jaw. Anywhere you feel those sticky bits. Make sure the jaw is nice and loose. Might feel good to draw a line on either side of the nose. Never think of the nose as a place you take tension, but apparently it is. And then make some circles on the temples. Maybe draw a slow line across each eyebrow. Could use the thumbs on the eyebrow ridge. That can feel really nice. Use the fingers to smooth out, soften the forehead. Again, traveling up to the hairline. And then finally, either using the finger pads or even the nails, you can give yourself a couple strokes through your hair, stimulating the scalp. These last few moments, just take any motions that feel good for you. Then close your eyes, bring your hands down into your lap, and once again, just notice how you feel. Maybe return to your breath. Acknowledge any transformation that has happened or not happened. Good. And then with the eyes still closed, bring the palms together one more time. Give your hands another rub. Rub, 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 rub. Make them nice and warm. And then with the eyes closed, cup your hands over your eyes. And just experience that electricity, the darkness of your palms. Slowly start to blink your eyes open into your palms. Drink in that calm, that darkness. And then slowly lower your hands. Maybe give your community a little bow, a little thank you. Know that you've done something really nice for yourself. And this is recorded, so if any of these movements or motions or ideas really resonated with you, you can always do them before a performance, amidst a practice session, really anytime. So as you go out back into the world, just want to leave you with another one of my favorite motions that feels good, especially if you've been on the instrument a lot. Interlace all 10 fingers. Just a couple more wrist rolls, this time with the hands interlaced. So you can make circles or figure eights. And then reverse the direction of your circles or figure eights, which can be quite challenging for the brain. And then release the hands. We'll just shake it out one last time. Wave high. Hi, everyone. Now wave, come here. And then finally, wave, get down. Ha 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 ha. And that's it. How does everyone feel? Better? Worse? Does anyone feel worse? And if you've got a few minutes and you want to have a little chat, if anyone's got any questions, I'd love to hear them. Or not. We can just smile at each other. I'm going to put my slippers back on.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
How do you keep that kind of like relaxed but strong posture? How do you keep that when you're playing? How do you remind yourself how to?
Very good question. So basically, it's like anything. The more you practice it, the better you get. So if you practice standing kind of like, you're going to get really good at standing like, But if every time you have your instrument, You're like, right, I'm going to press my feet down, activate the thighs, engage the core, pull my shoulders back, reach up. It actually becomes a very quick process. And and then the more you can bring the instrument to you, fold that in, it really does become more natural. One external tip I'll give, whether you're doing a yoga practice or just standing or practicing, a yoga block is like the best $5 or pounds or whatever you'll ever spend. Like a foam brick, basically. So what I'll do is I'll pop it in between my thighs, squeeze, and that activates my whole lower half and even my core. So I'm thinking about all the things we talked about, parallel feet, active tripods, blah, blah, blah. I'm squeezing the block, and then I bring my violin. Sorry, I just put my violin away and I don't feel like unpacking it, but you can imagine. You can use a block when you practice. So then you raise it, you can play open strings or, whatever you guys do. You can even use this when you're sitting, by the way. And then you can even practice your pieces with the block still there. And not only does it help the whole posture, but if you're prone to taking tension in your upper body, like your shoulders, by focusing the energy, the engagement down, it really frees up the upper body. Because I'll tell you what, it's like oddly impossible to be engaged here and tense here. You're kind of like redistributing the energy in your body. Does that make sense? I'm not like sponsored by yoga blocks, but they really are a very valuable tool. Good question. Anyone else?
Could I ask, so if you do like say several practice sessions in a day, would you suggest warming up for every single session or maybe just in the morning or?
I think that's totally a personal choice. For me, I basically have to like if I put my violin down for 5 minutes, like my arms feel cold all over again. So I have to like stretch them out and, wave them around, get warm again. But I realize that not everyone is like that. And I'm like so obsessive about it now. But I think like that moment of checking in, of pausing, of just asking yourself, like, how do I actually feel now? What do I need? That's key. Because sometimes it's not necessary to go through a whole warm-up routine, and sometimes it is. And again, that's something only you can know. So, your warm-up before you start practicing could be as simple as like standing there for 30 seconds and being like, how do I feel today? Oh yeah, I'd like to warm up my wrists. Or like, actually, I'm good to go. I'm going to just start. I will say that being warm is very helpful. Which is like really hard to come by in England, in my opinion. I'm like almost never warm in England. So, all the jumpers in the world somehow can't like help with the chill. So the tapping really helps me. That really makes me warm. And there's so many injuries are caused by being too cold and then playing too much. So the more you can make sure that your muscles are like warm and on, I think that's very important.
I have a question. I tend to have really, really cold fingers when I play, like especially at fall and winter. And like I do like do stretches and like wrist movements and stuff. But do you have any other suggestions?
I always have cold hands. So like I can warm up my whole body and my fingers are still like right now they're ice. One thing I like to do for the fingers and the forearms, this will really get them going, is bring all your fingers together and then imagine you're like flicking water droplets off them and then gradually go faster. Flick, 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 flick. And if you do this for like a couple seconds, it really starts to burn. All right, and then relax. And then we'll do the opposite. Grab fistfuls of air, like you're pulling them into the center of your palms. Oh my God, my nails are way too long. And then keep grabbing, grab, get faster. If you did this for like 20 seconds, it really warms you up. Yeah, so you can do that as long as it, don't hurt yourself, but that to me does start to build a little bit of heat. Other than that, yeah, I just have like horrendous circulation, so I just put on more clothes, honestly, but sometimes nothing works. Have tea and just hold it.
Thank you.
Cool. Anything else? We're all just like, woo. Awesome. You guys were great. So actually, I wanted to tell you, or maybe Rosie's told you, because of our correspondence, I'm actually doing a longer session on, I think it's November 19th, but I have to double check. I was in touch with Chris Hoyle, so I'm not sure whether it's just for strings or whether it's open. I hope it's open to all instruments. Like, if there's any question, just tell him I invited you all. So we'll do some more stuff like this, maybe get a little bit more involved or adventurous, but yeah, I'll definitely be around. Let me also just put in the chat here my intermission, which is the name of my yoga program. That is our website. We've got a free intermission app. It's for iOS. Sadly, there's no Android, but it's got a lot of ideas like this. We're on Instagram, where I just started typing Instagram. Intermission sessions. We put some videos on there, like helpful breathing tips, exercises. Yeah, and then if you'd like, here's the email as well. So feel free to be in touch. Both me and Melissa, my partner, are always happy to answer questions. Yeah.
Can I just say a massive thanks for coming? I literally felt the most relaxed I've felt in like months. So.
Oh yay! Oh my gosh, we need like relax. It has been a year, you guys.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And I'll send all of that stuff out to everyone. Like I'll probably put it on their Precious page or something as well.
Awesome.
And I'll send out an email about Chris Hoyle's session to let you guys know if you can all come. I'm sure you can. But yeah, cool.
Cool. Thanks everyone so much. It was really nice meeting you. Please be in touch, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye everyone.